Hey guys, welcome in. How are you? It is Saturday night and we're back. I love these little wipes. They just clean everything. It smells fresh. So, welcome in guys. Welcome Elizabeth. Donna, welcome. Karen, welcome. Janie, welcome in. Thank you for following. Pancakes, welcome in. Hope everybody's having an amazing, amazing Saturday. Beautiful day here at the beach. Although I didn't get to go to the beach. I see the beach every day, but the weather was pretty good here in Cocoa Beach today. Hi, Amy. Welcome in. Kitty Cat, thank you. Laura Jean, how are you, dear? Miss Leslie, welcome. Leslie, I'm going to bring you up. Be prepared. We have another mystery on our hands. I want to talk about these missing scientists a little bit tonight. Very, 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 very odd. I had posted a link to another missing unalive person in the Telegram earlier today, Leslie. So be prepared. I'm going to bring you guys up. I'm so glad you're resting today, Miss Laura. You, man, we all, our hearts are heavy, but our minds are sharp as a tack, and we're not giving up anything. We're not giving any ground up on the John Curtis Lucas case. Just not going to do it. Yeah, Rick is traveling. Rick is back up in the mountains. Spoke with him today. He's doing well. Brad is doing Brad lawyer stuff. So yeah, we certainly miss Rick and Brad. I want to get those guys back hopefully in the next couple of days. So we'll definitely be hearing from Rick and Brad. Hey guys, a little bit different show tonight. We're going to touch base on a couple of different cases tonight. We're certainly going to talk about the John Curtis Lucas case. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Nancy Guthrie case. We haven't spoken about the Nancy case in a while. And then this horrible case over in the Bahamas, the Hooker case. We're gonna talk about that case a little bit. I sent a message out to everyone in Telegram. I posted a video in the TikTok chat. I really wanted tonight to be a little bit different. I wanted to kind of call it the Saturday free for all. I'm going to bring you guys up. You people are going to help me co-host as we go through the folks here tonight. And I know that you have some cases that you want us to cover as a community, and we want to hear those cases. But more importantly, it's kind of a free-for-all night, guys. Anything goes. Any questions go. Anything you want to talk about, we'll go. No agenda tonight. Wanted to do a little bit different. Hey, Becky T, welcome in. Hurricane, thank you. Miss Lisa Sanchez, welcome in. Talking about the John Curtis Lucas case. Let me tell you, don't let the government propaganda and some of the perhaps family members or people associated with that entity allow it to be called anything but a crime. That's number one. Number two, if you can't see what we see, you need glasses, or you just don't want to see it. It was definitely a crime. It is a crime. It was a crime. Joanne, my friend, how are you? Hey, Gail, thank you for joining. Welcome in. Debbie, evening to you too. Guys, real quick, if you can just type in where you're watching from, where you're watching the show from tonight, and we'll bring some folks up, and we'll get this thing started here in a few minutes. You know, I always like to come in a little bit early to give everybody a chance to get in and get comfortable and get seated. So look at these states. Boston, Palmetto, Florida, New York, Michigan, Oh Canada is in the house. Dayton, Ohio, West Virginia, Chicago. Man, you guys had a horrible case up in Chicago with this officer, so I've been following that. Logan County. My grandmammy was born in Logan County. Ohio, West Virginia, North Carolina, Minnesota, Roanoke, upstate Albany, very cold. Pittsburgh. Yeah, I was born and raised there around Elkview, but I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Logan. I was a kid growing up and so remember that devastating flood that Logan had. So, hey, Hope, welcome in. Kathy Lynn, my friend. Cactus Blossom is in the house. Bubba Bodine. Bubba, I'll bring you up for a minute and talk to you. Scotland, man. Scotland in the house, guys. Let's go. Buffalo Creek, yeah, absolutely. Most of my relatives over in Logan County were in Mann. A lot of them went to Mann High School. So I know that a couple of my uncles were affected by that. I think we lost one or two family members. Mr. Bubba, happy Saturday.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
10,000
You know,
and growing.
I watched you, and I was trying to bring you up the other night, and I missed you, Bubba. And guys, this is another. I mean, I brag about all these folks in this community, but can't give enough credit to Bubba. And if you're not following Bubba, please do, guys. He does some amazing stuff on his channel. And Bubba, I just want to look in your eyes and say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. This is just amazing. What is the hot case for tonight?
You know, Bubba, I did a video earlier. I was at the gym this morning, and it just something put it in my heart to kind of have a Saturday night free for all. Came in here without really any agenda. Of course, Bubba, we're not going to forget the John Curtis Lucas case. We're not stopping on that.
Okay.
I want to touch a little bit on the Nancy Guthrie case. We haven't covered that. And then, of course, this horrible case, Bubba, out of the Bahamas with this wife still missing, not recovered, the Hooker case.
Oh, my. Hey,
Yeah.
let me say real quick, if you don't mind here, I'd like to throw a little shout out there to Julie and Kathy Lynn and Vicky and Cheryl. And let's see, who else? Did I miss anybody? Oh, please don't let me miss anybody. Kathy, I got you, right? There she is. She's right here. Oh, she's cuddling up right. Kathy, we're in public. Thank you very much for being here and being part of the experience with Jamie and all of the other people in the crime family. It's just a pleasure to have you here. And did I miss anybody else?
Bubba, there's so many folks. How can we name them all?
Oh, you got a good group. You have got one hell of a group, I got to tell you.
Bubba, you've been around for pretty much since day one. Are you liking the flow from what you're seeing? Are we getting better? We're trying, right? Trying to get this thing flowing a little bit better than what we were there. We were stuck for a little while, and if you see us steering to the left or steering to the right, Bubba, jerk my chain and get me back in the center.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. This is something that that you come on to the TikTok platform, and I'm going to call this is one of the quality type engagements. You're not sitting up there putting on your makeup. You have a makeup artist that does that for you. You're like the real deal, folks. Jamie is the real deal. Do you have a live shot today on one of the networks?
I had one earlier and we were canceled. Had a couple yesterday. So, but Bubba, when breaking news, you never know when you're going to get that call to go live on one of the networks.
Right. And folks have that are here on your live stream, they've got to realize that from time to time you're going to be called away. But if you would, Jamie, if you would let the folks kind of be the fly on the wall and watch behind the scenes when you're interacting with the folks over on the television networks and the newscasts. And um, Jamie is appearing as an expert commentator. Um, so, folks, just be patient. He'll be back to you here in the room, but from time to time, he does have to uh, say, "Please stand by." That's what all of us we stand by.
Stand by to stand by. So yeah, I try to. I think it's unique. A lot of people will see these newscasts and see these talking heads, and they're like, "How do they do it? How does the guy just show up on the news?" And Bubba, we started something. It was your idea. We started doing a little behind the scenes network TV news network, and I think it's unique. I think they like it, and they get the story before it's on the news because it's live on the news usually when we cover these breaking stories. So it's a little unique in that respect, the way we cover it.
Oh, I'm always so tickled. I am so tickled, I'll sit back and I'll chuckle just a little bit, and I'll tell you, Jamie, you'll go live. Let's say you're on the Fox network, Fox News, and so Jamie's getting ready. He's got his IFB in his ear. Um, that's an earpiece, folks. That's how he hears the anchor that he's interacting with, back in the studio, and they're talking to him in his studio, and it's just so amazing just to hear the folks chime in. Oh, he's on Fox. Oh, he's on Fox right now. Yes, he's on Fox.
Bubba, you want to know? You want to know? I'm going to put down some truth. You want to know the truth?
What's that?
I literally can do, and I've done that news thing for 16 years, right? I can literally do the news in bed, in my sleep, in a dream, right? I've done it so many times. I've done it recording. I can jump on a live newscast, and I don't brag on myself a lot, but I do that very well. And I can hit it out of the park. But you know what makes me nervous, and I get butterflies every night at 7:30?
What's that?
Coming on this TikTok live show. I get nervous. I get butterflies. And, Bubba, the only thing the common denominator as to why I get so nervous when I do TikTok, I'm not talking to an empty camera. I'm talking to a group of smart cyber sleuth folks. And I get nervous speaking before the community here. I really do, Bubba.
No, these people will react. Like Ryan. Ryan 122 is in the house here tonight.
They'll call you out in a heartbeat if you're wrong.
Oh yeah, Ryan's over there. Ryan, what do you think? What big case is on the horizon in your neck of the woods? Anything that deserves some national attention?
Bring Ryan up and ask him. Hey Ryan, welcome in. You're with Bubba.
Ryan?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. I hope
I can say one case that shook the nation was the George Floyd case, and I was here for that. And actually, Mr. Floyd was my friend, and I know the whole entire family. Good friends with them all. And what makes me very upset is to hear that. I don't like to talk political, but I hear, and we see in the news, national news, that he might get pardoned by the president. And that's not justice for the family. That just opens up a can of worms. And the community at large, and the world at large, but especially Minnesota and 38th and Chicago. And so,
well, thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate you bringing that to our attention. And Jamie, if we could make some notes on that, and let's keep our ears out there on the street and just see what's up with that. I know this is a topic that would doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on.
Correct.
Yeah. But this is it's about justice. And
Justice.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Ryan. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you stepping up and bringing that to our attention.
I commented on your post that you just made this morning with my phone number.
Okay.
So you can see my phone number in the comments.
Okay, and I message full transparency. I don't know if it's something on my end or your end, but I did message you again today. But I'll find that, and right after we're done here, I'm going to text you if that's okay.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank
I'll
you,
be
Brian.
back. God bless. Bye bye.
All right. You have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Let's
Bubba,
see.
that case is wild. We remember that case well.
Yeah, I'll tell you. There are so many cases across this country, and what you're doing is you're taking the time to spotlight.
Hello. Hi,
Hey, Miss
Bubba.
Julie. Hey,
Hey,
welcome up. And my guess Bubba's riding shotgun with us tonight for a little while. So
That's fine with me.
well,
That
what's on your mind, Julie?
George Floyd that was brought up, that was a sad case. I mean, that cop was teaching other rookie cops what they were supposed to learn, but did the opposite. And I think a bunch of them got in trouble too, got jail time,
Yeah.
if not all of them.
All right. Well, if you hear anything coming up in the future on that, Julie, make sure that you definitely want to
It's, not-
give
it's
a holler.
something, it just lays dormant. Nobody really talks about what happened and how wrong it was. And it just like John Lucas, what happened to him was totally wrong too. You know, I just, my husband has this theory of why they're getting paid and they haven't really done much right now. It's because the EMT, the driver, who her daddy is. And they're going to try to sweep it under the rug, which I have a feeling, and it's not going to work. There's too many people. It's too nationalized for people not to get outraged if something does not come out right.
We're going to keep
I
our eye
mean,
on.
my 10-year-old granddaughter, she says it's murder, and she's autistic. And
Smurder. Let's use Smurder. TikTok friendly words,
yeah,
guys, tonight.
she's smart. She's very smart.
Hey,
And
excuse
she's
me,
like,
Dooley,
yep.
one second. Guys, when you
Okay.
come up, a couple people had restrictions the other night. Try to be TikTok word friendly. Instead of the M word, let's say smurder. And if it's
Okay.
the thing, call it a pew
Pew pew.
pew. And let's try to be very careful with that so we don't get anyone restricted.
And
All right.
and another thing is with Nancy Guthrie, something's got to give. They have to find that woman for that family to have closure and rest. I mean, I think they pretty much assume she's not alive anymore.
All right. Well,
You know.
you're absolutely correct on that, Julie. Thank you for bringing us up to speed on that.
Yep.
As soon as we get off here, I'm going to personally send a note over to the producers on this, and we're definitely going to follow up on.
Yeah, it's just
All right.
all these cases that even in Louisiana where those kids got unalived,
Right.
you know, they never know why he did it. You know, and it's just sad. The world's gone crazy lately. They had
Well,
a
let's
shooting
just,
in Louisiana at a mall even.
yeah.
In the
Well,
food
let's
court.
just remember everybody in our prayers there. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Julie.
All right,
Thanks,
Bubba.
Julie.
Talk to you later. Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
All right. Love you, man.
All right, bye.
Bubba,
Really
she brought
nice
up,
woman there.
she
Yeah,
brought up
really
a couple
nice
good
woman.
points. Bubba, we've been around for a few years, and unfortunately, these. And if I'm wrong, correct me, guys, in the chat. But these areas, Bubba, where it may be lower income and they don't get all the attention that the big cities get, or the underpopulated areas. That crime hits those folk different. I know this case she was talking about up in Chicago, in Louisiana, and those two cases, it was sort of a less populated area and less popular area. But that was in the news cycle one day and it's gone, Bubba.
Yeah. I think that we know some of the reasonings behind that.
Yeah.
We used to say, if it bleeds, it leads, for your 6 o'clock news show.
That's right.
If it bleeds, it leads. And
Um,
that's what we've gotten accustomed to. But on the other hand, it depends on who the victim is.
Oh, without a question.
You know,
Without a question.
Nancy's case that's a perfect example. Nancy's case would never have lasted in the news for, you know, what, 60 days? I mean, these kind of cases have a very short shelf life.
And I love paralleling cases, and we became vested in the John Curtis Lucas case out of Elkview, and you know those folks. John Curtis Lucas, he wasn't famous, Bubba. He wasn't a famous guy. They knew him in the community, but they didn't know him across the state line, perhaps. I never knew the name John Curtis Lucas, but we all know it now. And that's where these smaller communities that may not be less as populated as the big cities or as famous as the Savannah Guthries, when they come together, Bubba, they're not going to let people forget the name John Curtis Lucas. And that's where these small communities just excel, in my opinion.
Tell me, Jamie, if you could, I know I'm looking at the numbers here, and my God, we've got a lot of new folks that have rolled into the room here. If you could give us a hit right now. Maybe if you could do a 30-second TikTok friendly summary of John's case for the folks that maybe have just kind of scrolled through and they're out there, they're scratching their heads and they haven't heard about the case.
Yeah, horrible case, tragedy case out of Elkview, West Virginia. Day 8, no arrest in the John Curtis Lucas case from Elkview, West Virginia. It occurred right there in my hometown on Railroad Avenue. And, this case is very simple in my mind. I don't have a lot of experience, 30 years in the business, but if you watch that video of this ambulance, John Curtis Lucas, in fact, runs out into the roadway. It's dark. It's 2-something in the morning, but it's well lit. That ambulance had headlights. And the unique thing that sticks in my mind about the John Curtis Lucas case is you see the ambulance driver apply the brakes twice. John Curtis approaches the ambulance on foot. And the next thing you know, the ambulance accelerates and literally runs John Curtis Lucas over, Bubba. And then if you're just joining, they continue. It gets worse. They drag the lifeless body of John Curtis Lucas for over 2 miles.
2 miles.
2 miles.
2 miles.
2 miles. Over 2 miles. During that during that time, the dispatch says stop, not once, not twice, 4 times. Stop the ambulance. Stop driving. But Bubba, here's the horrifying part of this case. It's alleged that you can hear the screams of this man, John Curtis Lucas, over the radio transmission, screaming for his life before they snuffed his life out. And that's, we're not going to give up on that case. We're going to talk about it every night. And like I said, day 8, no arrest, no charges. And we have been joined by the community of Kanawha County and Elk River, Bubba. And those folks aren't going to let this case rest until there's justice for John Curtis Lucas.
And some of these communities across the country, I'm not going to sit here and pick on West Virginia or Arkansas or any other state in the union. Something I just don't understand sometimes. I know there was Mississippi had its share of run-ins with First Amendment auditors. And I mean, they had their wrists slapped multiple times within the same month. They went after a fellow from, as a matter of fact, he's based down there in your state, Jeff Gray.
I've seen him.
I don't know.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. What he does is very simple. I mean, how he's you can't say that he's baiting people. He's not baiting law enforcement. He can't make them,
He's just holding a sign. Says, what, God bless the homeless vets. He went into Mississippi in multiple towns in the same day, and they threatened arrest. As a
Over
matter of fact,
over panhandling, if I'm correct.
yes, alleged panhandling, yes. But it was on the public sidewalk. He's got his message. Oh my God, you can't. God bless the homeless vet. Under the American flag in front of City Hall.
Not asking for 1 cent.
Not. He'll get his later. He'll get his later. Now, he used to do the, 1776? Oh my God.
Thank you, Monte. Bubba, did you see that? That was beautiful.
Oh my God. Oh,
Monty, man, thank you. But, you know, Bubba, I did that job for a little while, right? In uniform patrol. Rode that police car in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's some people. Oh my gosh!
Holy smokes!
What in the
Pick
world?
me up off the floor,
Monty. Thank you.
Oh my!
Take a breath. Take a breath, Bubba. Don't
Okay.
pass out yet.
Okay.
We're just getting started. I need you,
This is 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
Monty.
Did everybody see that?
This community is so amazing. But you know, Bobby, here's the deal. I went out there, and I'm gonna be transparent with the people for a minute. When I started that job as a young deputy, I was a boot. My goal in life was us, the police against you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, God, was I wrong? You would go out and
Whoa!
Texas girl, my God!
Oh my!
Thank you.
Hold it.
Oh
Slow
my
down,
God.
people. Okay, I need everybody to slow down. Slow down. Tambo 990, come in.
Monty,
Over.
thank you.
You're there. Who is that?
Monty and oh my God, Cotton Canty sent a bear. Monty, man, the sheep leap, crazy. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my. Oh.
And Cotton Candy,
Okay.
thank you for
I'm
joining
okay.
that for 2 months. She just joined this thing for 2 months, Bubba.
Oh my. Oh, what is? Oh, that's a
Texas
blue
girl,
one too.
thank you so much for that. Oh my God.
What is? That's a paper crane. That's the
Yes.
blue one. Did you see that?
Yes.
That is
yes.
the blue one. Oh,
Those things are like art. They're art, man. It's amazing digital art. I get.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm okay. I'm okay now.
Take a breath, man.
Okay. I'm gonna
But
try.
we get these attitudes.
Oh my God.
Oh my
my
gosh.
goodness
What
gracious.
is going
We
on,
have some-
Monty? Oh,
I bet we have.
look
By
at
the
the
way, I
coral,
want to say
Texas
hello to.
girl. Oh my God. Did you see the coral?
Yes, I saw that. Oh my God. And we had sheep jumping over the coral. Oh my God. That is something. By the way, I want to say hello to any military folks. Whoa! Get out of here.
What in the world?
Go Army.
M. Martin, man. M. Martin, thank you. What is you guys? Susan, thank you. M. Martin, thank you. Did you see
Oh,
that
my
whale?
Thank you. Oh my goodness gracious.
Your brother or sister,
I'm gonna
that
just
whale's
take it.
crazy.
Yeah.
All of them are crazy. But my gosh, to look at that, it's like art. Digital art just pops up. I don't know, Bubba. I get excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm sorry, guys. Please forgive me.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, the whale. Did you see the whale? Or was that a shark? That was a whale.
It was a whale.
Oh my God. Whoa, you don't have to go out in a boat to go whale watching. Just stick around right here on this channel. Thank you. Oh my
That's
God.
Guys, you guys are so kind. So amazing.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was starting to say,
Whoa! Did you see that one? What in the world is it?
what is this?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Joanne, thank you. And thank you,
The meerkat.
Bubba. My
Oh
gosh.
my God.
That
This
was
is
like
just fantastic.
I don't know. Those things are
Wow.
crazy.
Thank you. Thank you. Jamie, this is what humbles us. It is.
Oh my gosh, thank you for the Christmas lights. Look, I mean the lights. Look
Oh
at the
my God.
lights. Leslie,
This is-
Leslie, thank you. What is going on?
I have tears in my eyes right now, Jamie.
It's crazy,
I
Bubba.
cannot believe the kindness in people. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh
Oh my.
my gosh!
More sheep?
Monty,
Counting sheep?
no, stop! Oh my gosh, you're so
Oh,
kind.
Monty.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on. We got to bring my brother from another. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Hey, Leslie. Oh my. Wait. Ollie, thank you.
Hello. How are you?
Somebody
Leslie,
just. It's Jamie Appreciation Day.
what is? Did you all? Is this like a? What is going on? Monty and Leslie, what's going on? Did I miss a memo?
No, it's just that everybody loves you. That's all. They're showing their appreciation for you. Some of those gifts are expensive. People
Yes.
pay
You
real
think?
money. Yeah, people pay real money for those, and a lot of them are expensive.
Yes.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, Monty.
What?
Monty, what? I didn't do nothing. Monty didn't do it.
Oh God. It's like.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh. I'm okay.
Thank you, Arlene.
And we love your reaction too. It's
I will never.
Oh, yeah.
These things are like when you see them pop up, they're out of the blue and they look like art. It's like digital art.
His face and his reaction whenever they pop in. It's
This is like-
priceless.
This is like so amazing, and like I said, it's humbling. It's humbling, Jamie.
Yeah,
You know,
it is
these-
very humbling.
The folks in here. Oh my God, more finger hearts.
Thank you for the. Oh my. Susan, thank you guys. Thank you.
But you deserve it all.
Joanne?
Sonny. You deserve it all.
But Monty, it's the community.
Oh my God.
I understand, but if it wasn't for you pushing that button and bringing us on, there wouldn't be no community.
I'll never understand this. It's not me. It's you guys.
Oh, it's you. You got to press that button to bring us
yeah,
on.
you're the one who pressed the button. So you're the one who started it. We're just continuing this story.
Well, see, when Jamie came on first with the Nancy Guthrie case, he packaged it in a way that brought it down to your average person. And so he gave us the inside scoop. We saw him do the live hits on the news behind the scenes. He brought Nancy Guthrie into the homes of thousands and thousands and thousands of people on both TV and on the TikTok platform. I mean, this channel during Nancy Guthrie and the peak time of Nancy Guthrie, it was not uncommon to see 3,000 or more people in here.
Yeah, that's true.
3,000 or more people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The chat was going wild.
That's
I
true.
mean, it was simply amazing.
You know, if you go to any organization, guys, and I'm speaking to the panel, but I'm speaking to the community. If you go to any organization, we're going to bring so many people up tonight, Bubba. But if you have a organization, and if you empower that organization with, number one, the freedom to speak their mind, the freedom to speak their mind without being chastised or made fun of, the freedom to speak their mind and their opportunity to have a theory or an idea without being belittled, that community is strong and you only build a stronger community because they're building the community. You guys are building the community. And, every organization has their core people. And I would love to name the first 5 or 6 core people. I didn't want to come on here and applaud you guys all night, but I have to. I can't name 4 or 5 people. It's the entire community that are wise, that are leaders, and you guys make the show. And I can't thank you enough.
It's amazing. It is truly a work of art. It's a work of art, Jamie. I got to tell you. It is a work. It is a work of art. Just watching you work. Oh my God.
My brother,
But you-
sister, how are you up in the UK?
I'm good, thank you. How is everybody?
Did you see all the art? It's like fine art flashing across the screen. It's amazing.
They are brilliant. I love them, especially the whale. The whale's my favourite, but they are all impressive. And like you say, it's real people's money, so just shows how much everyone appreciates you, really, doesn't it?
It's
Definitely.
humbling.
Definitely. Most definitely. Hey,
What's going on today?
my brother, sister, I'm going to leave you in good hands. Monty, you're in good hands with Jamie here. Leslie, you're in good hands. And I'm going to just slip on down here now. Now, I'm going to be in the room, but I'm going to be doing something a little different tonight. I've got almost about 10,000 folks that follow me. What I'm going to do tonight is something that I don't normally do. I'm going to start inviting some of those people. I'm going to be inviting people. That's what I'm going to be doing. So if you'll please allow me to slip out and kind of do this, what I'm going to call God's work, and I'm going to be doing it right behind the scenes. Jamie, I will be here. I thank you very much for having me on with you.
Thank you.
Everybody who has been part and is part of this, thank you, Tambo. Everybody who is part of this room, thank you.
Thank
you.
you, Bubba. Thank you.
Have a good night, Bubba.
All right, you too.
Good night.
Come on, Bubba.
Okay,
Bye, my
we'll
brother.
talk a little later. Thank you.
All right, guys. Let me gain my composure. Let's get into this thing. Monty, we have some of the most craziest cases known to man that are out there every day. I can't get around the John Curtis Lucas case. We've not spoken a lot about the Nancy Guthrie case. And before Monty answers, if you're in the chat, you have any questions, if you have any case you want to talk about tonight, put it in the chat, come up and let's chat about it. But Monty, these cases, day 8 in the John Curtis Lucas case, no arrest. Day 80 something, Nancy Guthrie has not been recovered. This poor woman in the Bahamas, the Hooker case, she hasn't been recovered. Monty, there's a lot to discuss tonight.
I'll tell you a case that ain't been covered in a long time, and that's that 15-year-old boy out of Hendersonville, Sumner County, Tennessee, a Sebastian boy. I live in Tennessee, and he's, an hour and a half from me, and you don't hear anything on that case anymore.
Well, let me put you on the spot, my friend. How about maybe if you're available Monday, you and I come in here and co-host with me, and let's bring that case to light and let's talk about that case.
I can do that. I can
Okay.
do a little research on it and everything about what all's taken place so far and everything. But and he just disappeared out of his home in the middle of the night. Where'd he go? No one knows.
Okay, I know that case. I've seen the case, and that's something I would like to cover because it's not in the news every day. So let's plan Monday night. We're gonna have a co-host, man, my brother Monty, and we're gonna chop it up on that Tennessee case. Are you good with that, Monty?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of research tonight and find out what I can find out.
And then Leslie, we have the missing scientist. I posted another one in the chat today. When does it stop? All these people are missing. They're unalived. Some of them are accounted for. Some of them are still missing. What gives in the missing scientist case?
Yeah, I don't know. Some of these guys are some of these people that were all of a sudden coming up into the news were whistleblowers and that were supposed to appear before Congress. Now, the latest one, he was supposed to appear before Congress. I think it was in 2024 because when I looked at it, they had several panels, and I think the last one they had was September of 25. And he passed in 24, I believe. Yeah, there's even podcasters, authors being unalived. And now I've seen in the past couple of days that there are people making testimonies online. If I end up unalived, it is not of my own doing. I love my life. I'm perfectly happy with my life. I'm perfectly mentally stable. I mean, they're just making their testimonies because they don't know if they're next.
Right. I mean, here's the common denominator. This last individual that we talked about today in the chat, set to testify before a congressional hearing.
Right.
There's a common thread on all of these, and air quotes, the federal government is allegedly looking into it and investigating, but it seems we have more people uncovered every week that are just unaccounted for,
Right.
that's vanished or unalived, whether it's an airplane crash, a Tesla fire. Good night, Almighty. When does it stop? So that's something
Yeah.
I'm going to get back onto the scientist case, because that's an epidemic.
And the
of
latest
unalived.
one, yeah, and the latest one was the airplane crash where it was James Moffat, his wife, his son, and then Andrew, his other son. But Andrew was also following in his dad's footsteps.
Correct.
So, and they were, I believe, leaving North Carolina to go back to Huntsville, Alabama.
That is correct.
So now Huntsville, Alabama is getting involved in this now.
And we know what's in Huntsville, right?
So,
Monty?
and nobody hears about Huntsville. Nobody hears about Huntsville, Alabama.
That's right. Real quick, I don't want to leave you hating my good friend from the UK, but are you guys getting any news at all on the missing scientists that we're talking about up in the UK?
I mean, it hasn't hit the news, but I've seen it in a few newspaper articles, but it's just sort of, it feels like it's like a reporter just taking off TikToks, and adding up some of the names and talking about them. But there's not much on it, but I have seen a couple of things. I mean, it's a fascinating case. There's so many layers to it, isn't there?
Yes. And Leslie in the chat, they want to know, Leslie, do you think they stumbled onto something?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely, I think they have. And I think I posted it in Telegram that there are like 4 or 6 scientists from China who just mysteriously were unalived, and one of them was actually dealing with General McCaslin. So I mean, this just isn't this. This is not just the U.S. This is international too.
I mean, I'm surprised. Sorry.
From an intelligence standpoint, and I'm not pointing my fingers here at Leslie and the panel, but it's a common knowledge that the Israelis, particularly Mossad, certainly have had a history of getting rid of these types of individuals. We know that North Korea,
correct,
is in the business of that, and certainly China.
Yes.
So all the bad actors come to mind when I hear this. A lot of scuttlebutt and rumors that it's something that they're taking into witness protection because they know something I'm not buying that. I'm going to say it's more nefarious, and I want to believe
Right.
that it's a foreign actor that's potentially responsible for this.
And I agree with you. They know something that's probably is deeper than we would ever think that it is. And it's all stemming. It honestly all stems around the UAPs, right? But then it's extending out because then some of them did work with nuclear stuff and lasers that could, they put on satellites that could take out, objects right from space. So the stuff that I'm finding and reading about is it's incredible.
I'm surprised that there's not been a bigger thing, with the government looking into this, because some of the topics that obviously these people have information on or are related to, it should be more of a concern to the government, because maybe they're all just coincidences, but, I'm not really one for that many coincidences.
Let's go to our brother up in Tennessee. Monty, you've been following, what's your take on these 11, well, it's more than 11, a couple dozen scientists?
I have missing or unalived. The list is almost to about 20. And we have more on our list than the media does. So,
Monty, what's your take on that, Monty?
I don't know. It's just strange to me. It's strange. How can you have so many people come up missing and so many people come up unalive, and there's nobody really covering it?
This could spark a lot of conspiracies off as well, couldn't it? With other countries.
Sounds like maybe the federal government has something to do with it.
Oh, they'd for sure have something to do with it. In my opinion.
Maybe somebody knows something. I mean, a lot of these things, when it comes down to science advances, there's people that have vested interest in certain things not being developed and outed to the mainstream, doesn't it?
Well, I was watching on TikTok the other day. I don't know if anybody else seen it, but there was a guy live streaming in California, and there was a UFO or something and had crash landed on the beach in California the other day.
Yeah. That's happening more and more now. They're getting a lot of sightings, especially around, and again, here comes Huntsville because of Amy Eskridge.
Thank you, Simone.
And, she said Huntsville, Alabama is one of the targets because nobody knows about them. I didn't know about them. My dad was Air Force. I didn't know about Huntsville.
Yeah, because
it's all stemming around the UAPs, but then it gets into, again, it all started with the UAPs, and now it's just, the more you research, the more it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just, you got some of the smartest people on this planet, and they're disappearing or being unalived for what they know.
And here's why I like this case. We have a couple sitting Congress people that are out pushing for disclosure. The president even came out and said they're getting ready to disclose a lot of UAP documents.
Yep.
There is currently an official website for the disclosure documents, just waiting on them to be uploaded. So, I just find this kind of odd timing. And guys, if you followed us for any time, we don't do conspiracies. We don't do has-beens, maybes. It's suspicious that all this is hitting at one time. And let me tell you, the biggest thing, and we'll move on to another case, is the word hypersonic missiles come to mind.
Yes.
That's some scary technology that these men and women have access to.
It's very scary.
I wonder how many people that have gone missing or have been murdered that we haven't found out about yet. There may be many, many more than
I'm searching. I hate that. I don't mean that in a bad way, but and then there's a couple of people who are still with us that I'm watching because they are afraid. They are absolutely afraid.
Yeah, guys, I wanted to bring you up and hear from you guys because it's just some of these cases we put on the back burner. Monty, more to your point on what you just put down, there's an individual that I follow, and he and I talked in direct messages. He, on the west coast of Florida, has seen the same thing multiple times in the ocean. So, guys, it's a good topic.
Yeah.
Whether you believe in these things or you don't believe, something is either flying above us or coming out of the oceans. It's just too well documented, Monty. And then you have Air Force and Navy pilots corroborating this stuff. So, I don't know. Is this all related? Who knows?
I was watching that. I went into, I scrolled through that guy's live the other day, and I scrolled past it, and then I said, hold on a second. Is he live? And I scrolled back, and I stopped in there for a second. I was listening, and they had yellow tape around it, caution tape, and it was there on the beach. It had crash landed there on the beach, and there was smoke coming out of it. And I said, what in the world do we have here?
It was not an AI generated video. It was real.
No, it was real.
So I don't know, guys. Do we want to have a little bit of fun and go down that rabbit hole? I think we're going to have to, given the fact that we have a couple dozen missing scientists. I think we're going to have to maybe go down the hole a little bit on all the angles.
I was waiting.
My
to see
spreadsheet just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I was waiting to see little green man come running out of there.
Guys in the chat, if you like that case with these 20-some missing scientists and these UAPs and these unidentified objects, if you want something like that covered in detail, put some ones in the chat because I think it's a national security matter. I have concerns for what's happening, and let's see if we can start covering some of it a little bit more in depth as we cover these other cases. I'm seeing a lot of ones in here, guys. A lot of ones.
This case could bring up a lot of interesting theories, let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Because the government, there is stuff out there they definitely don't want us to know or ever find out about. And you know what? If it's that drastic, I'm to the point where don't tell us because I don't want anarchy, chaos, mass chaos. You know what I mean? I would just rather not know and just have my theories. Just not that I couldn't handle it because I could, but
we'll move on shortly.
There's just some people out there can't.
Let me throw something at you guys. Sitting congressperson just yesterday came out and made another statement. He's been briefed multiple times in a SCIF, which is a secure room where you can't take any electronics and you get top secret briefings. His words, not mine. In the press conference or the interview the sitting congressman did, said, quote, if the American people knew what I have been told, it would terrify them.
Right, I heard that.
It was Tim Burchett. I can't think of his last name, but
Tim Burchett from Tennessee.
Burchett. Monty's a Tennessee boy.
From Tennessee.
Tennessee boy. Yep.
I really like him.
I don't know.
Because he's just putting it out there, and I got him on the list too because I'm afraid something might happen to him.
Miss Lisa, welcome up. How are you? Miss Lisa going once. Miss Lisa going twice.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
I knew you would come in. How are you?
I'm doing good. And you guys?
Better that you're here now. We've got the whole crew in.
I see that.
Hey, what cases aren't we covering that has your interest peaked, Lisa? What do you want to talk about here in the next week or two?
I don't know. I think we're at this point, we're at a bunch of cases that are just kind of at a stalling waiting point. I don't know. I know you all like the missing government people. I think I've said before, I don't think there'll ever be any resolve to that. I believe that's been happening for years, and it's going to continue happening for years more with no answers anywhere. So I don't know. Something I can watch it. Something may happen there that intrigues me. The John Lucas case, I think that will come to a conclusion. I'll say this about this, and I was trying to stay away from the emotions and the feelings. My son ran over let me rephrase that. My son hit a person. So from a personal experience, I've lived that. And I remember arriving at that scene, and I looked at my then 16-year-old and I said, "Do not lie to me. Tell me the truth. The truth may land us in trouble, but a lie is gonna land us in more." Those were my words standing on the side of a road. And I looked those cops in the eye and I said, "Let's go. We're going straight to the hospital. I will have him tested. I will do whatever because he looked me straight back in my eyes. Mama, I'm clean. Mama, my truck is clean." And I said, "That's all I needed to know. Know that I believe you, but this is what we're going to do next."
Yep.
And when I was given permission to take him from that site, they knew I was taking him straight to the hospital to be tested. Not for their sake, but for mine and for his.
That's right.
So that's what I, as a mother, would have done. That's what I did. And as a 16-year-old, he understood Mama's asking and Mama is doing because Mama is protecting me no matter what my answer is. And 3 days later, we walked into the police department, me and my ex-husband, and we told him, "I need to know if you're going to charge him because I have a 16-year-old that is not mentally well."
Right.
And they looked at me and said, "Lisa, go home and take care of your kid. You're good." And he was never charged. He wasn't ticketed. It was not my child's fault.
Right.
But they knew that, they understood that. But he's 35 today, and he still will tell you, if I had had a drink or if I had had anything in my truck, I would be in jail today.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you should get a gold star. I mean, that's good parenting, number one, but it's a good steward of people, ensuring people that, if you make that mistake, come clean and it'll work out however that works out, but at least you don't have that hanging over your head for the next 4 or 5 years, right?
Correct.
Paralleling, I like paralleling cases. Let's and I'm not saying that's in any way directly related to the John Curtis Lucas case, but it sort of is. And I'm gonna put down what I'm about to put down. Lisa, you demanded your kid to do the right thing, versus going out and spinning a narrative, versus going out and potentially going defensive or offensive in respect. But here's what I'm hearing on the John Curtis Lucas case. I'm hearing potentially the parent, one of the parents maybe, if not both parents of one of the individuals involved, are basically doing their own media campaign, and they're certainly looking down at people who want to continue discussing the John Curtis Lucas case, and they're setting their own narrative, rather than talking to their child to say, hey, if there's any wrongdoing here, you need to come forth and speak up. You see where I'm going with that?
Yes, sir.
And
And I still, you know, I still stand behind the narrative of if you do something wrong, you may get consequences for the wrong that you did.
that's right.
But if you lie and try to cover that up, your consequences are 3 times stronger. So just tell me the truth to begin with.
Truth will set you free.
And yep, and you know that life experience just jumped out at me for the last couple of days watching that case, and I was like, I feel for their parents because I was that mother standing on the side of the road, you know, but
Yeah, hold
I
on one
didn't.
second. Hold on one second. I'm gonna cut you off. Tracy, there is. I got a text, and I'll share with the community. But to answer your question, I'm hearing there is some type of security issue or some type of something going on at the correspondence dinner tonight, as we speak. So to answer your question, there is something happening. I just had the Fox Network producer text me, have I heard anything? And of course I haven't. I've been with you guys, but something undoubtedly is happening at the correspondence dinner. Just don't know what it is, but I'm sure I'll get a text. Okay, so someone was shot in the lobby, they're hearing. So I haven't even heard that from the producer. So I didn't mean to cut you guys off, but there's something breaking at that correspondence dinner, and we wanted to address that. But no, Lisa, I can't thank you. The panel, the group, the community can't thank you enough for coming in and sharing that. That's personal, number one. Number two, it takes a lot of bravery to come up and say that. But it needs to be a lesson learned for some other parents, in my opinion, who, you know, we all want to take up for our kid. But by golly, if they do something wrong,
Absolutely.
get them to tell the truth, and let's get it figured out and get it straight so you don't live with that for the rest of your lives, potentially in prison. So
Correct. And you know, like I said, he was never charged, he was never ticketed. I did not have to slander the lady that he hit.
right.
You know, I was told things. Yes, I was this person, that person, she was with. I didn't speak on that. I just kept my mouth closed.
Yeah,
And
as you
within,
should. I think you did the right thing.
and I did. And, you know, I remember when they buried that lady, my ex-husband and I sent flowers with our name on it. And then at one point, months later, we received a letter from an insurance company that they were possibly going to file a lawsuit.
Right.
And I picked up my phone and I called my attorney, and I said, you tell them to file their lawsuit. I will see them in court.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
And their lawsuit never came because that lady's that lady caused what happened, not my son. And nothing else ever came of that. But I didn't have to slander her. The evidence proved what my son did and did not do.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, and we're going to bring some other people up, Lisa and my brother, sister. I want to bring
Absolutely.
you guys up. Thank you for sharing that. That's something we all need to learn, and we all need to go on. So, Lisa, thank you. My brother, sister, thank you. We appreciate you.
Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night, John Boy.
I know it sounds like the Waltons. And guys, look, no agenda tonight, right? We just wanted to, Leslie, where did you go, Leslie? Monty, Leslie left. Maybe she got disconnected. I don't think I disconnected Leslie.
Flew up out of here.
Leslie, I don't think I did that. Leslie.
But I had sent you a message last night after we had went off thing about a few messages that I seen come across the chat and everything. And I didn't know if you had seen the messages or not, but there was like 2 or 3 people talking that the girl that was driving that ambulance of John that hit John Lucas, she had fled state or whatever.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that she went left for North Carolina or one of the Carolina states. Here's the deal with that. I mean, there's no. I may not be like for what I'm about to say, but she currently is a free woman. She's a free subject to move wherever she wants to move, Monty, because they have not charged her with anything. It's not like the movies where you hear the movie actor or the detective say, "Hey, don't leave town. We may need to talk to you." That doesn't work in the real world, Monty. And unless you're charged, you're free to leave. Hey, Leslie, I don't know what happened.
No, I'm the one who did it. I thought we were all dropping. My fault.
Jamie in Nashville, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's Saturday night free for all, sister. What's on your mind?
It is. Yeah, so I put this case in our Telegram about a case that we'd like to cover. And the main reason that I'm interested in is because it was my hometown, which that is probably the only time you'll hear me say I'm really embarrassed of my hometown. I don't know if it's like brand new. So is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So this happened about 5 years ago in my hometown, a small area in central Illinois, about 90 miles southwest of Chicago. Basically, it's a bunch of small towns that are connected by cornfields and country roads. So it's another small town. I don't know, maybe cops don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But it's the case of Jelani Day, and he was 25-year-old graduate student of Illinois State University in Bloomington, about an hour north of where he was found unalived. So he was missing for about 2 days. His program director, he was a graduate in a graduate program, and his clinicals were starting, and he missed the first 2 days, which was very unusual for him. So they took the steps to go ahead and report him missing. And what's kind of weird about this case is that it was ruled a drowning because they couldn't find any other reason. But the circumstances around it and where things were found and what was done were really kind of weird and shady. So he was last seen on security cam footage at ISU's Bone Student Central, wearing one set of clothing. At 9:12, 2 hours later, he was spotted on different security camera footage at a Bloomington dispensary wearing different clothes. After they finally found his cell phone, it showed that his last search was he searched Greyhound bus tickets, but then his phone was turned off at the dispensary. So that was August 24th. So 2 days later, they found his car in a wooded area in Peru, Illinois, which is where I'm from, about an hour north of Bloomington. This is an area that if you don't know the area, you wouldn't find this area. to be able to hide his car there. So it was found with its license plates removed and no keys. In the car were his clothes, his journal. I don't know if I can say this, a marijuana blunt. I don't know if I can say that. Tennessee license plate in the trunk.
Okay.
They say they did canine searches, drone aerial searches, ground searches, and nothing was found. So a couple things to note there is that it was said that he didn't know anybody in Peru, Illinois. It's a very small town, and you don't just go there unless you have to. There's really nothing there. Again, not a common area where his car was found. You're not just gonna come upon it. And then if you listen to any podcasts or social media mentions or even some articles, it talks about Peru being a sundown town.
Yep.
I'm 50 years old and I've lived there up until about 10 years ago, and I have never heard that before. So if it was ever considered that, it was way before that.
What's the name of the case?
It's Jelani Day, Jelani, and then Day, Day.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Like I said, we came into this thing tonight, no script, no agenda, no experts, because we've got the best experts in the community, right? So get your pen and paper out. Monty, Monday night, you're gonna co-host this thing. We're gonna talk about your Tennessee case Monday night. You with me?
And I lived about 2 miles from Sebastian when that happened.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then Jamie, Tuesday night, I would like for you to co-host the show with me, and we're going to talk about this case.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
listen, guys, I'm not trying to change a lot of stuff because I think what we're doing works, but we need to broaden our spectrum a little bit here. And if you guys like this idea, let's run it for a couple, 3 or 4 cases and see how it goes. I know everyone's going to hit a home run, but it just gives more opportunity, Jamie, to come in and you know this case better than anyone else right now, potentially, to come in and co-host this thing, and we dissect it. And Monty, you can dissect it. Leslie, you're gonna talk about the scientist case next week, Wednesday night. I know we're not supposed to go Tuesday night, but we're going to go live Tuesday night and Wednesday night. And Leslie, we're going to cover this missing scientist case Wednesday night. So I think if you guys like that in the chat, put some ones. If you like that, it's more, Jamie, we got to cover more cases.
I agree. Because
I got to have help.
Someone said earlier that, we're at a point where we're not getting any new information.
Correct.
So it's just, you get tired of rehashing the same thing, unfortunately, when there's nothing new to discuss.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing a lot of ones in there. So this coming week, I would like to get at least 4. We have 3. We need 1 more fresh case that someone knows that would be willing to come up and co-host on camera and put it down. And I see a lot of ones in there, Jamie. So that's what we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, and at least Wednesday.
I like it.
And I'm making notes.
Yeah, Kathy, I'm covering that case with Sebastian.
Yes, on Monday night.
Yep.
And then Jamie, you're up Tuesday night, and then Leslie, you're up Wednesday.
That Sebastian case was it's so sad. That was literally I lived about 2 miles down the road from him. And it was so incredibly sad.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee too. I live about an hour and a half from him.
Okay.
Jamie, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah.
All right, guys in the community, if we want to get at least, look at this, guys. We didn't even have an agenda, no script, and look where we're going with this. We need 1 more case. So if someone in the community has a case that is dear and near to their heart, and you want to bring it up and highlight it, we have an opening Wednesday night as a co-host to do that. So let me know in the chat if you have a case. I want to bring you up now and let you kind of talk a little bit about the case. Is
that Wednesday night or Thursday night, Jamie?
Thursday night.
Thursday night. I'm sorry.
Thursday, yeah.
Hey, Jamie, can I make a suggestion?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible we could possibly fit the Zodiac in here? Or do you just want current?
Let's do that. Let's do that Friday night.
Okay.
Can you reach out to JC?
He's in the chat.
Hey, Jamie, I got to drop. I'm getting a phone call, buddy.
All right, bud. Thank you.
Yep.
He's in the chat.
Yeah, let's maybe bring Jay on Friday night, and we'll talk about the Zodiac case. Let's see, Friday, Zodiac. And I'm sure if he's in the chat, he'll do it. So,
Oh, for sure he will.
so we need a case. If you guys want to do this, we need someone to step up with a case for Thursday night to come in and co-host. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry about that. Someone has a missing friend out of Boone County, West Virginia. There's so many missing people.
Yeah, a friend of mine's nephew is still missing.
So, Leslie, we talked a little bit. I kind of gave you guys my idea of this thing for the live tonight, and you guys said, yeah, let's do it, and we did it. But look, we had no clue this was where it was going to go. And I think it's the greatest thing about not having things scripted. Sometimes you just come in and go with the flow, and you all direct where the show goes.
Well, sometimes it's good to take stuff right off the hip. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, you know, it's...
Thank you. I'm looking for one more case for Thursday night. Come on, somebody in the community has to have a case that they know that they feel fond of and want to talk about. So we'll wait for that. Steve, I'm going to get to you in just a second. Hey, Nana, welcome.
Hi. You're talking about cases, especially the Sebastian. This brings up, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Kyron Horman, the little boy that went missing from his school in Oregon. That's
No.
been missing for years and never has been found. And there were no charges against anybody, and there really should have been, but he's still missing. In June this year, I think it's going to be quite a long time. He was little. And it had to do with the stepmom, some friend of hers, I don't know. But he's still missing, and there has been people that are trying to keep his case alive. His mother's name was Desiree. I don't know. It went worldwide, so I'm just hoping someone will bring attention to that case more too, because it's really sad. He went missing from Skyline Elementary School.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
sorry,
lot of
what was his
comments in
name
the
again?
a lot of stuff in the
Yeah,
chat about
he's
this
been
case.
missing since June of 2010. So it'll be 16 years.
What was his name again? I'm sorry.
Kyron Horman.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the stepmother had took him to school that morning, and there was like a science fair or whatever, and he was doing one about frogs. And he just supposedly she left him at school, and then he didn't show up at the bus stop. There was a big thing about it, and yeah, to this day he has still never been found, and no charges were ever against anybody.
A lot of comments in the chat about this case. Do you know the case well enough to come up and co-host with me?
I can do some research, and yeah, I could try. I would love to. Just
Guess
to
what?
bring more attention to it again,
You're
since the
hired.
anniversary's coming.
You're hired.
Okay.
What's the name of the case one more time?
Kyron Horman.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, he went missing June 4th, 2010.
Yep. And they did like, oh my gosh, there was so much searching around the school. And where we live and where he went missing from is a very rural area. So it's like a lot of country, and like, to get to where he lived at that point is like a main like road And it's like I said, it's a windy road. It's very country out there. There's like nothing around, farmland, stuff like that. I mean, things have changed since then, but there were like things that, oh, maybe that she dumped him at a place called Sovie's Island. But the case is kind of like dropped, and I know the mom does things. The real mom, the biological mom, she has, tried to bring more attention to the case. And we have a new DA in that county, and they're trying to. And there's also a Facebook page about him that a lady runs also that I know about because I'm on there and I see. And they, like the stepmother, she no longer lives here in Oregon, but they follow her around because they want her charged. They feel that she had something to do with it. And so, yeah, I just think the case needs national attention. Again, I think our eyes need to be open. This little boy did not deserve what he got. And
Yeah,
I pray that
I
he's
just
somewhere.
I brought Renee up. Renee, you had something to say about a polygraph?
Yeah, they did multiple polygraphs on the stepmom, and she failed miserably on
Yes.
like every one of them that they did on her. And which, because I had said in the comments before that I, whenever Nana brought it up, I was like, I think the stepmom definitely had something to do with it, because she took him to the school, and then all of a sudden, he just vanishes, which is
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
I'm on the internet right now, and I have News Nation up, and when I searched his name, News Nation reported on March 2nd of this year that this case is receiving renewed interest after his name was included in an uncorroborated tip in the Justice Department's files on the e-files.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And plus there's like a new sheriff or whoever was like in charge of that case way back then. Those people in the DA are gone. So now I know there are people pushing for this to be reopened because, for one, that stepmother should have been arrested for anyway, regardless, because she even got caught putting a hit out on his father, which was his biological dad, and they did nothing. They just squashed it.
It's freaking wild.
And the guy came out and said, yes, she hired me to kill her husband, and they did absolutely nothing. And all this came out after he went missing.
Interesting. All right, so we have a date for this week to bring you in and talk about that. It'll be Thursday night, Nana.
Okay, thank you so much. I will come on, and I will also do some more research and find out, so I have things to talk about and let people know that, in Oregon we are still, hoping to find Kyron Horman.
All right. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Renee, anything else you want to cover?
I also wanted to say about that, I believe his mom or somebody in the family has a Facebook page. I'll have to look, and I can post on Telegram about it if you want me to. But I think one of them has, because they're still trying to find him, of course. But there's another case that, and I just woke up from a nap early, like right before I came in, so excuse my brain. But Mara Murray, she is missing from New Hampshire. She actually went missing in, I believe it was 2005 or 6, I think it was. And she went to West Point school, and then all of a sudden she decided that hold on. Hold on. Okay, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, my son's iPad connected to my ear or
Ah,
AirPods, so I was hearing his videos. I was like, I'm so confused. But he or she went to West Point, and all of a sudden she had wrote a note um to her professors, or okay, wait, she went to West Point and then she decided that she wanted to go to nursing school, and so she was in nursing school in college, and she decided that she oh my goodness, sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I had my iPad so that I could just like give you a gist of the case. But basically, she wrote to her professors that somebody in the family had died and nobody actually had passed away. And so then she traveled up to, they believe that she was trying to go to a place that she, the news report. Oh, uh, I'm getting distracted. I'm so sorry.
that's okay. Well, listen, why don't you do this? I think the chat will agree.
uh,
Let's, I've got an opening
uh-huh.
Saturday night.
Okay, that's perfectly fine with me.
You had me at West Point.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Renee. And what's the name of the case, Renee?
Mara Murray.
All right. We got a date for Saturday night, this coming Saturday night.
Okay, sweet.
Put it
Sounds
together. I mean,
awesome.
I like that.
And
I think
I'll definitely write the notes. That way I'm more more organized. I'm so
no,
sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. I just wanted to come up and hear your piece, but no, you piqued my interest. I think the chat's interested, and you know, here's the deal, guys. In the chat, not everyone's famous. Not everyone gets the attention of the Savannahs and these other folks that gets the news cycle.
Right.
And some of these cases need to be discussed. They need to be taken off the back burner and bring out front. And let's just do it. Let's do it. So we'll see you Saturday night with your case.
Okay, it sounds great.
I salute you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Oh, I always.
Oh, what happened? As you were.
Hello.
Hey, I'd seen you in the chat. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
What's on your mind?
I was just thinking of a case I just heard of yesterday about the two doctoral students from Bangladesh
Yep.
that were at the University of South Florida, and they went missing last week, and they found it was a male and female friend. The male was found yesterday on a bridge in Florida, and she's still missing, but they arrested the male's roommate. And they assume that she's dead as well because of the amount of blood that was in their apartment.
Yep.
I'm assuming they tested it and know that it was hers, but they haven't found her yet. So not sure of motive or anything like that, but I think it was just the male friend and the man accused of unaliving him. I think they were just the two roommates. I don't think there's anyone else.
I covered that live on the news as that was happening during that SWAT operation. It was a barricaded subject, which turned out to be the guy they arrested. Here's my take on that case, and that's a good case to talk about. You know, when this thing came out, it was two doctoral students from the University of South Florida. The rumors immediately started circulating that these two students were studying something similar to the missing scientist. So that was trending at one time on X, that they were associated with these missing scientists, but that turned out to be debunked. You know, the ironic part of that case, and we talk about these, Steve talked about it last night on the John Curtis case. A lot of these cases, we know who is responsible. You just don't have enough probable cause to make the arrest. And my point on that case in Tampa, Florida, they had their guy in their sights the day before. They had done some surveillance on him and went and actually tried to interview him, and they just didn't have enough PC to make the arrest.
Mhm.
And you know, you get what you can and you come back another day. So overnight, living there with his folks and family, they got into a domestic fight or argument. That lasted over the night into the early hours, and someone called 911. That's how all of that got started day two. But the point of that is they knew they had their guy. They just couldn't make the arrest. That's a sad case because this beautiful woman, this young woman, we were covering it live on the news, and I'm like, my first gut reaction is perhaps he was seen or he was spotted, or possibly someone blew a horn that scared him, and he was able to, unfortunately, probably dispose of the female in Tampa Bay and just didn't have the opportunity and left the male subject there and ran.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's a horrible case.
It really is.
Sad.
So that was just one I was thinking of, just because it's new, it's current.
Do some research on it, and let's see what we can flush out of there.
Okay.
I know that the sheriff came out earlier today and made a statement that, we don't know what the interview consisted of, but the bad guy was cooperative at one point yesterday. But they came out today and said it looks very grim in terms of potentially recovering her, which would kind of lead that she may have been thrown in the Tampa Bay. But you brought up a good point, and that's why I like this case. They were a large amount of the red shiny stuff in that home. So could something more nefarious have taken place? Yeah. Let's keep that one on the burner, because that may grow some legs. She's still missing. She's out there.
So sad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Good find.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. What's up, Mr. Steve Strickland? How are you?
I am good. I'm just watching this Fox News stuff right now with the shooting at the White House. So,
we came on here tonight, Steve. I came on and I didn't want an agenda. I didn't want to highlight any certain case. And look where we are. An hour and a half later, we've got a full schedule for next week now with 5 different cases.
yeah, no, I've been listening. It sounds like a great idea. Just another chance to get everybody involved and let everybody see what it's like to do the research, investigate a case. I think it's a great idea. I think it'll work well.
So that seems to be the plan. Man, they've got some good cases. One last thing, is J Crime still in here, Leslie?
I don't know.
If he is, J Crime, I want to bring you up real quick.
Oh, J Crime to the front of the class, please.
J Crime to the front, please. J Crime. Paging J Crime, someone says in the chat. So yeah, Steve, I saved the Zodiac case until Friday night. We had him on. He got in a little deep with that case, and it's an interesting case. It's a case that needs to be spoken about. And let me tell you something: if this man is right, it's going to solve a lot of answers. And you've got to admit, some of the stuff that he puts down, it makes sense. It doesn't sound like it's some wacky conspiracy theory. I mean, he brings some receipts when he tells his story. Also going to be at CrimeCon. He's setting up a booth in CrimeCon, so he's going to get more attention on the Zodiac case.
Yeah, and I was just going to follow up to what you said just a little bit ago about these cases that have been on the back burner. We have cold case units now that work stuff, and I think it, bringing these cases back to light kind of reinvigorates the case, gets it back out there in the public eye, and who knows? I mean, maybe something that somebody comes up with here on your show ends up breaking a case. You just never know what's out there and what people can find these days, and so I'm looking forward to it because I think it reinvigorates a case, like I said.
Yeah. Leslie, I don't know if you can send a message to him or not, but if I don't want him to, I don't want to leave him out. I mean, we gave everybody a spiel on their case, and I didn't mean to put him off, but I wanted to save him until last. So if anybody can find J Crime, tell him to report back to the principal's office, please. So yeah, I mean, Steve, we no agenda. We just started we just started chatting, and you know, these people they'll put you in the right direction, and it sounds like this is the direction the community wants to go, and that's where we're going.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, Lisa, thank you. I didn't want him to think I left him out or we left him out. Thank you.
Yeah, I messaged him too.
Okay. So Leslie, thank you, dear. We're going to have a busy week. I've got a little homework to do because I don't know. I know the Zodiac case. I know a little bit of the case that Monty's going to bring Monday night. Know a little bit about the scientist case from your investigation, your group's investigation. Steve, we have a little bit of homework to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw they just posted that they'll add it to the Telegram page so that we know what we're talking about each night. So I'll have to get on there and make sure I get everything studied up.
Yeah. Leslie, thank you again.
You're very welcome.
Thank your husband for everything he does for us. He puts you up in the spotlight. You guys lead the way. But thank you, honey. I appreciate it.
Oh, he's not here. He's traveling, so just me.
I salute you, dear.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Steve, I've started saluting everyone. It's salute week. I'm going to salute them next week.
I salute you. What up, Steve Strickland?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good, sir. How you doing?
I am doing well. Got on here late because I'm having some vehicle issues that I've been working on all day. So
I know that. I've dealt with that a time or two in my lifetime.
Yep. Nothing like busting knuckles.
So Ryan, do you like these cases that we're going to bring next week? Have you been listening?
Yeah, I've been listening off and on as I'm doing some other work. But I've been listening, you know. I've been, a few of them I kind of know about or, you know, heard about local news and things like that. But a lot of them I just don't know about. So I look forward to getting to know. I guess the weird case about the missing scientists, that's kind of weird. And then, of course, that case where the wife went missing off the dinghy boat, which you guys talked about. But the other cases, I don't know about. So it'll be good.
We're going to learn together on that. On a couple.
We're going to learn together. I love to learn. You know. And no, I was just booking some private chef work for some clients.
Well, we appreciate you, and I'll find your message when we get off of here, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living. Private chef.
You go do it, man. Cut it up, buddy. Make it good.
Well, yeah, it's all about sales. At the end of the day, I'm good at sales.
I'll message you. You said you left your phone number. I'm going to find it. And I'm going to message you as soon as I get off.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
So the video that you left this morning, I just happened to see tonight, and I put my phone number on that message of you talking about the gym and all that stuff and coming home, talking about the free fall tonight. So that's where I left it. So my number's there.
I'll be messaging you as soon as we get off. I'm going to text you.
What's at least the first three digits
of your number? See it while I'm on here, but mine is 407.
407. Okay, good. Because other people will have my number. I don't care, and I just block. You know.
My gosh! Thank you.
Look at the sheep.
God.
That's amazing.
God. James, thank you for that. Sheep jumping over sheep. Thank you so much for that. All right, Ryan. As soon as I get off, I'm going to I'll shoot you a text, bub.
Okay. Sounds great. Have a great night.
Hey, JC.
I'll be in
what's
chat.
up? JC. Jay Crime.
I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I didn't want to think I left you out. I wanted to save it for last. We're gonna talk about your case, and that's the Zodiac case. Friday night, you're going to co-host with me for a little bit.
That sounds
just give a 2-minute dissertation of what's going on.
Absolutely. I go by J Crime. I've had TikTok for 2 years. We've done 5 years of research. My wife, myself, we came across some very good people, an advocate for the missing. Her name is Voices for Victims. She goes by on TikTok. She works side by side with me on this case, along with my wife and Rick McBain, who's a 20-year veteran, and he in the Navy, and he worked he had insights of operations, and where you would fly to. I mean, we have inside stuff too, because we have my grandfather's military records that basically line up with all Zodiac activity. For instance, in his records, it shows the same days that he reassigns back into the Navy or reenlist are the same dates that the Zodiac letters were sent out on. So we started off with a bunch of coincidences, but after studying his records, after researching this, over 100,000 hours research, we came to this case, with hey, if one thing ruled him out, we would stop, you know what I mean? But we're the first in history to have the explanation for the time gaps between every confirmed Zodiac unaliving, every unconfirmed Zodiac unaliving, pre-Zodiac activity, and afterwards. In his records, when he's in Florida, these same types of crimes are happening. When he leaves, the crimes stop. Along his path, the crimes continue. We have the explanation for the 6 and 8 month gaps between the unalivings, because he goes to Vietnam and he returns and continues. We place him on the USS Enterprise ship January 14th, 1969. And that ship exploded from a so-called accidental Zuni bomb that got cooked off. It happened next to his squadron. One of his squadron members were unalived immediately. One of the Huffer fueler driver was a new recruit, new in the Navy. That day, that Huffer machine exhaust was modified, which put it too close to the airplane that cooked that off. This same accident happened 18 months prior on the USS Forrestal. John McCain was on it. That was ruled an accident, but we believe from them going to Treasure Island and fire safety training and going through all the things to make sure that don't happen again. It happens next to a squadron. He knew the cook-off time, 18 seconds.
Hold on, Jay. Don't give it all up tonight. Just a little preview.
I'll lay it out, man.
And that's what I say. Friday night, we're going to cover the Zodiac case. Are you able to do the mask?
If we co-host, yes. All right.
Okay.
But I think I did co-host with another creator, and I had to take off my 18 up. I'm 18 up. They weren't, but me as not 18 up, I get in big trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever we need to do, but I just bring some receipts and you know what to do. And also, you're going to be in Crime Con. You're going to set up
That's
a
right.
booth.
That's right.
Guys, Friday night, we're going to talk about the Zodiac case. A lot to unpack in that. This man is going to bring some receipts. So if you ever had any interest in the Zodiac case, Friday night will be the night. And I just want to bring you back and say, hey, thank you. I wanted to kind of
thank you as well.
So you could kind of get in a little bit more detail, but I don't want you to give it all up because it's going to be a long night.
I'll be honest with you. We wouldn't be able to fit it all in one night.
We can condense it.
We could. There's a lot of legwork on the questions that everyone's always wanted to know. Sometimes even when it comes to the mind frame of getting inside the mind of a serial unaliver and the intentions and the motives and the triggers, this is deep. It's, I would say, the unholy grail.
Bring your A game.
Yep, I will.
And we'll talk during the week.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm going to send you my phone number and email. And then what I would like to also do is set up something with you, whether I fly out to you to Florida, and sit down and lay the receipts out to you so you could see them yourself, because I want to take away all question. And this way it's that 5,000 table puzzle piece that you put together, and it takes time. We put the edges together. It's time just to fill it in. It's a blueprint of everything, and we will have receipts for Friday.
And in closing, thank you, number one. But in closing, Jay's got a blank check for anyone that can disprove him, and you just fill in the amount on that check.
That's right.
Am I telling that right?
That's right. I would rather pay you than him to be my grandfather and be doing that. I feel a sense of responsibility to give the message. I know what he did, but we got in front of victims' families already, and our job is to bring closure to those families and tell the truth finally and get it out there.
All right, my brother, I can't wait. It's going to be an exciting. And I wanted to put you towards the end of the week when people are kind of done with their errands, blah, blah. And they'll be here.
Yeah, I'm going to post this up all week for this Friday.
All right, my brother. Thank you for bringing it in.
I'm going to tag you guys. Have a good night. Thanks again.
Thank you. Steve, my wife came up running. Breaking news. The Trumpster, President Trump, has been rushed back to the White House.
Yeah, they're saying that first they were saying they were going to bring him back to the dinner. He just put out a statement saying that it will be solely dependent on what law enforcement says, but he fully intends that if they don't come back tonight, they will do the correspondence dinner once again later on.
Yeah, I'm just monitoring it now. I may go on the news thing here live. I'm on standby to talk about it, but it hasn't reconvened. They're starting to get back on the stage, but it's in a pause. Someone's stepping up to the podium to speak. So at least our president is safe. No matter who the president is, the president's safe. Steve, crazy night. We got a lot of good cases coming up. Let's catch up for a minute. Day 8. We cannot stop the broadcast unless we talk about breaking news, bombshell, as Nancy Grace likes to say. Day 8, no arrest, no charges.
Yeah, I don't get
John Curtis Lucas case out of Elkview, West Virginia. No charges, no one in custody, no one's being interviewed that we can see. One of the ambulance occupants is allegedly in the Carolinas. I'm glad she can go vacation while the community mourns. Unbelievable, Steve.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And, of course, that may be in relation to some of the threats that have been made. Family may have said, okay, it's time to get you somewhere where nobody can find you. But, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand, after the video evidence. I mean, there's clear evidence there. There's nothing that says that anything that they said happened actually happened. And so I don't get why they haven't moved forward. I don't understand it.
And let's not forget that both of these individuals are on administrative leave, getting paid by the citizens and taxpayers of Kanawha County, West Virginia. What a horrible miscarriage of justice. Day 8, no arrest. And I'm going to go back, Steve, and I'm going to point my finger right to the leadership. I'm going to point my finger at the sheriff of Kanawha County. I'm going to point my finger at the prosecutor of Kanawha County. And Steve, I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to point my finger at the newly elected governor, because someone needs to step in, and this case needs to be investigated by a state agency not related to the Kanawha County Sheriff's Department or anyone in that department.
Yeah, at the very minimum, the Attorney General should be looking into what's going on. I mean, if we're talking about the county seat is in Kanawha County, or the state seat, the state capital is in Charleston, which is Kanawha County. So I don't see why at least the
Steve, real quick, can you take over for just a minute? I'm going to get ready and do the news.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So yeah, I don't, like I was saying, folks, I don't understand why at least the attorney general there has not jumped in and at least made his presence known. And I don't know that he hasn't, but it doesn't sound like that he has. And so, I mean, if I'm, you know, right down the street, there's no reason he can't be there. Really, really honestly, he can't. No reason why he can't be there. So, as we move forward in this case, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with what's going to go on. How soon are they going to make an arrest? I mean, in the chat, I mean, what do you guys think? Is there any chance that we're looking at an arrest here in a few days? Or my opinion is probably we're still a week or so out from an arrest, and maybe more. I've said it before on here that there's a process to it, and I imagine that they're working through the process. They're trying to get all their ducks in a row. At least I hope that's what it is. Just like Rich said the other night, or maybe it was Jamie, this case is not going to go to trial in 30 days. So as far as having a clock start, I don't see where even a defense has time to prepare. So it's going to be a while. I mean, we're talking end of the year before we even see any movement towards a trial, and probably looking at a year maybe with just some of the stuff that's going on. So it's going to have to get investigated by the state, I think. I don't think that there's any trust right now in the sheriff's office. And I'm not saying I don't trust that they can do the investigation, but at this point, I don't think that anybody's going to believe their investigation. So I think you have to turn it over to the state and move forward. So,
hey, Steve, can you update them that I'm not going crazy if they're just joining?
Yeah, just so you guys know what Jamie is doing, if you just came on, Jamie is preparing to speak with, I believe, probably Fox News in reference to the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So there's been conflicting stories on that. Let me see. Somebody just out there going to try sovereign immunity first, don't you think?
Steve, real quick, can you update me on that?
With what
on the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
Yeah, I'm actually watching. So it looks like they've decided that they're not going to continue. Everyone that's in the room seems to be getting up and they're still talking, but they're making their way out. So, and then they're showing also the moment that it happened, that they actually took the president and the first lady out. This is understand, folks, this Correspondents' Dinner, and we're not it's not anything political here. It's just about the president and whoever was the president, like Jamie says. This Correspondents' Dinner is often attended by, it is being attended by tonight by the president, the vice president, and several of the key cabinet members. So security for this thing is amped up through the roof. So it's going to be interesting to see what happened as this plays out here, figure out what.
Can you give me a briefing of what happened, though? I don't really know what happened.
As far as I know, at some point, somebody with a pew was being chased down the exterior hall of the room. I don't believe he ever made it inside the room. There's been conflicting stories. I've seen some where he's been unalived in the lobby, some where he's in custody. So just going to have to wait and see with that. And then that's really a law enforcement thing. They're not necessarily going to release everything right away. So if he is unalived, it's a process. They're going to go through, try to make some identifications, try to make some notifications, and then from there we'll slowly start getting some news. So, but everybody right now is exiting the hall itself. Obviously, I wasn't listening to what was going on. So when she came up to announce that they weren't going to continue tonight, I don't know what she exactly said. So I'm just kind of waiting for some updates here. Peter Ducey is there. I'm watching Fox right now. So.
And guys, just for the chat, I'm going to put Steve on mute. I'm going to be doing the live news on Live Now Fox if you want to join us there. I can't show you the interview because I'll get a restriction, but at least you'll be able to hear the interview live, or you can join it on the station. So, Steve, are you okay? I'm coming up now.
The dinner is going to be postponed to a later date. They say they're going to try and get this thing a makeup event, if you will, at some point in the next 30 days. A live look in the room as they are wrapping things up. They're covering the podium. I had a feeling once we saw the presidential seal being removed from the podium, it was pretty clear we probably weren't going to be hearing any more from this event tonight. And to Hal's point, it will be interesting to know if all of the members of the media and all of the elected officials and they might need to be questioned. Everybody in this room, they might need to be questioned. We do have standing by law enforcement expert Jamie Copenhaver. I'm usually able to check in with you during a commercial break, Jamie. I'm just going to bring you straight in. I want to make sure you can hear me. Do you got me?
I do. Thank you for having me, Austin.
Of course. Jamie joins us, and he does a good job of helping us make sense of these developing situations. And Jamie, gotta say, look at here. We have U.S. Capitol Police inside the venue at this hour. Do they have to, more than likely, ask questions to every single person that was in this room tonight? What does your gut tell you, Jamie? Is everybody in this room a witness?
Absolutely. It's just like any other crime scene, Austin. This just happens to be the correspondence dinner tonight. So where the president attended. You know, here's the other caveat to that. Heard you earlier guessed. I mean, the Secret Service does a pre-surveillance of that venue to make sure there's no threats to the president. But sure enough, here we are now with this shooting. So, you know, it's going to be treated as if it's any other crime scene. Witnesses are going to be interviewed. They're going to want digital devices that are possibly contains pictures or video that might help identify exactly what occurred here tonight.
Let's, and by the way, I'm Austin Westfall, law enforcement expert, Jamie Copenhaver here with me. We're going to continue to break down this developing story. It's been a while, and we do see that, as has been happening over the last hour or so, a lot of new people are joining the broadcast. Maybe some people have not heard the moment yet where the shots began to ring out. So I'm going to replay this. Jamie, if you will, watch this with me, listen to this with me, and then let's analyze it on the other side. For anybody who hasn't seen this yet, listen closely. You'll hear the bangs in the background, and then you'll start to see the security escorting the president away from the stage. This happened earlier today during the dinner portion of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Okay, Jamie, so I'm going to mute this video, and I'm going to start it from the beginning. And if you can, if you could just talk us through what you're seeing from the moment it begins. I mean, this is the president here. They're just kind of mingling and then smiles, and it's almost like they don't immediately hear the shots when they ring out. But if you can, I'm going to hit play on this, Jamie. Walk us through what you're seeing.
I mean, it looks like a typical thing with the president at the correspondence dinner. As you said, it's normal conversation. Everyone's relaxed. We don't see anyone jumping or running. Sort of now we see there's a chaotic moment, perhaps Secret Service coming to the stage where the president is seated, obviously to get the president out of harm's way and to get him off the stage. So, certainly agree with you, Austin. I don't think the president nor any correspondents on that stage heard that shot because they certainly would have jumped or flinched.
When you have a delicate situation like this, Jamie, and we just saw them evacuate the president, I mean, gosh, you've been in high stakes, high pressure situations like this. if you're one of those law enforcement, if you're one of those Secret Service agents, officers, if you're part of that security detail that's on stage right now, what's going through your mind?
Get the president out of harm's way. I mean, going back to Butler, PA, we saw what happened there with then former President Donald Trump. Now, current President Donald Trump, you want to get the president off the stage, out of the area, into the limo, and presumably, if you're close to the White House, back to the White House. If I may, Austin, while you're in that limo, as it's called, the Beast, you're going to certainly do an assessment of the president to see and double check that the president wasn't struck either by a bullet or anything shrapnel wise, to make sure he's healthy and well while you're en route to the White House. We've seen back in the Reagan days, they thought everything was well with Reagan. And then that limo shortly diverted to the hospital. He was hit with one of those bullets. So they're doing all the above.
I believe a Reagan assassination attempt, possibly that very one, happened at this building.
It did.
This exact building.
Yes.
Live look. Let's take a look at the venue in its current state. Obviously, much more relaxed energy in the room. Everybody safe, uninjured. Officially hearing from the Associated Press that the president was unharmed. The vice president was unharmed during the situation. Security did escort him out of the venue. And then we just heard moments ago, Jamie, that the president is going to be giving a press briefing sometime shortly here at the White House. The incident happened during a pretty high-profile event, and now we are watching, as you described and as Hal Kemper described, a number of people who witnessed this. And my gosh, Jamie, I'm asking you about the law enforcement, what's going through their mind when this is going on. I mean, it's hard to imagine being one of the guests in attendance while all of this is happening.
I mean, that's your worst nightmare, to go to anything where the president's going to speak and be a part of, and you have this type of incident go down. So, certainly as a guest or a correspondent, they're covering that. Now they're part of this news story, Austin. That's something we're leaving out. They've witnessed this. They've witnessed potentially hearing that shot. So, they're now going to transfer from correspondents, if you will, to potential witnesses by the United States Secret Service and the Capitol Police and the DC Police. So, it's certainly different. No one expected this. The other thing is, these venues are tightened down. No one moves unless the Secret Service allows them to move. Certainly, there should be videos somewhere as to what happened, how this assailant arrived there. And then you want to make sure that he's a lone wolf and no one's outside. That could potentially be another threat that we're not seeing.
And that is something that we're all curious about. There are still a lot of details unknown. It'd be interesting to know if the president, perhaps, is able to give us some insight into where the investigation stands. It's very possible that they're so early in the investigation that there aren't too many concrete facts. That simply is the reality of these situations sometimes. This is what the Secret Service sent out moments ago. Anthony Guglielmi, he's their comms person. He says the U.S. Secret Service, in coordination with the Metropolitan Police Department, that's the police department that looks over D.C., they're investigating a shooting incident near the main magnetometer screening area at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The magnetometer screening area, Jamie, so this, correct me if I'm wrong, this would be right at the security perimeter. Does that sound about right?
Absolutely correct. You're going to have an outer perimeter, then you're going to have an inner perimeter of any of these events, and that magnetometer is going to be in the inner perimeter as you enter the building for the Correspondents' Dinner. So, here's something we haven't really spoke about. I think Hal may have covered it. You're going to have Overwatch on the adjacent rooftops, Austin, to protect in a sniper position to look for any potential threats. I'm pretty surprised that he made it that far without being challenged by any law enforcement or the Secret Service. So it's quite surprising he made it all the way to the magnetometer without being noticed.
So the Secret Service sending this out, they say the President and the First Lady, they're safe along with all protectees. They say one person's in custody, and the condition of those involved is not yet known, and law enforcement is actively assessing the situation. So some of these details could change. The bottom portion of this statement, the condition is not yet known. The law enforcement, they're actively assessing the situation. But they do say one person's in custody, Jamie. What's the value, and what kind of questions are they going to be asking this person?
You know, if I was there on that detail, my first question, I would want to know, hey, are you acting alone? I mean, you know, we don't know if he had someone that dropped him off. And like I said, I'm very surprised he made it up to that inner security area. And more importantly, you've got to kind of build a timeline very quickly to assess where he may have been staging. That's another question. You know, is there items left behind that he couldn't carry up to that magnetometer in fear of being cited by the police? So all the above kicks in, and then of course you can't leave any potential victims, witnesses, whether it's eye or ear witnesses. They're all important, and it's going to be treated just like a criminal case that we see every day play out on the news cycle. With the exception, I would suggest we'll see Mayor Blauser probably show up at the scene, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jeanine Pirro doesn't make an appearance, as she's the U.S. Attorney for D.C.
Some in the crowd reported hearing 5 to 8 shots being fired, as we have this camera feed of some of the process as they clean up and exit the venue. They were asked, the person in custody, I'm just reading from the Newswire here, a person is in custody after shooting incident near the security checkpoint. So that's the AP saying security checkpoint, Secret Service saying the magnetometer. The president posted on Truth Social saying that the shooter had been apprehended, and the Secret Service confirming that as well. This all happened before really the events proceedings even began. They were having dinner, and they were about to presumably get into some of the entertainment and some of the speeches of the night. We're going to hear from Oz Perlman, from the president himself. We did hear from the president of the White House Correspondents Association. She made some brief remarks. She was the only one who made any remarks until the security situation started. And then ultimately she was the one that came out on stage moments ago and said this. This is the only update we've heard from the podium since the security or since the shooting happened. Let's listen into this one more time. Checking in with you, Jamie. Anything I'm not asking you, or anything else you feel is worth mentioning? We have a really short window here. Is there anything else I should ask you?
Just really quick, in terms of witnesses, if you take a look at that live shot, you can see members of Secret Service milling around with paperwork, perhaps trying to collect names of potential witnesses that may have heard or seen something. Other than that, I mean, you've covered it all.
Okay, I'll ask you about that, and then we'll wrap.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
He, the First Lady, the cabinet, everybody's safe. The president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes. That is not a joke. And he insists that we will reschedule this event in the next 30 days. And that he wanted to do it tonight. He wanted to continue, despite the news, but has to follow security protocol. He said earlier tonight that journalism is a public service, because when there is an emergency, we run to the crisis, not away from it. And on a night when we are thinking about the freedoms in the First Amendment, we must also think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do. So, thank God everybody's safe, and thank you for coming together tonight. We will do this again. Thank you.
And we will wait for word from the president at some point in the next, well, we expect it any moment now, I guess, at this point. She said a half hour back when she gave that speech, but President Trump just posted this. We haven't had this yet. Law enforcement have requested that we leave the premises consistent with protocol, which we will do immediately. I will be giving a press conference in 30 minutes from the White House press briefing room. The First Lady, plus the Vice President, and all cabinet members are in perfect condition. We will be speaking to you in a half an hour. I have spoken with all the representatives in charge of the event, and we will be rescheduling within 30 days. The president posted that 25 minutes ago. So 25 minutes ago, he said it's going to be in about 30 minutes. So any moment, we expect to hear from the president. We did just get a feed in from the White House. It's on color bars right now, so I won't show it. But presumably, any moment, we expect the president's press conference will start. We still have law enforcement expert Jamie Copenhaver here on the line with us. And Jamie, while we await the president's remarks, I know you were looking at this shot inside the room, and you noticed, looked like there were some law enforcement officers combing through, correct?
Absolutely. That one shot that we had up earlier, you could see a couple of uniformed Secret Service officers milling about the crowd with clipboards and papers, presumably looking for anyone that may have seen something. They're looking for witnesses, Austin. It's a fluid case. It's an ongoing investigation, and they want to track down anyone and everyone that either saw or heard this.
Law enforcement expert Jamie Copenhaver joining us. Always appreciate you, Jamie. Thanks.
Thank you, Austin. Good to be with you.
Yeah. So we're going to stick with this. We don't know exactly when the president...
Are we clear? Julie, are we clear? Okay, not a problem. I can. It's going to cost you a little bit of lunch or dinner, so you're going to have to do some DoorDash. Now, just call me. I'll be on standby. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm sorry about that, guys. Did we lose any people? Did anybody get mad?
No, I think we gained some folks, honestly. They like watching that behind the scenes stuff.
That's how it goes. Steve, I'm sitting there in my I have a pair of shorts on for transparency, and they're holy shorts. But you never know, and I knew that I was on call. You've been on call, and when you're on call, you get that call. You've got to kind of play Superman in the bathroom and put that shirt and tie and jacket on. But guys, I still am in my shorts. That's a good thing about doing it from the studio here. I can do it in shorts and be comfortable. So, but man, what a crazy story. Steve, anytime you have any of our leaders assembled at any location, no matter if it's a president, it could be a cabinet member, it could be a sitting member of Congress, a former president, and you have that type of incident goes down. I mean, that's all hands on deck. What we haven't heard is if anyone has been hit. You may have an update on that. I don't. But I think the biggest takeaway, and I covered a little bit on Fox, is this assailant getting that close. You're going to have an outer perimeter. Anytime the president travels, it's a pretty tight outer perimeter. And then you're going to have an inner perimeter for that inside interior location. Steve, I'm a little surprised that guy was able, or the assailant was able to get into the inner perimeter at that magnetometer.
Yeah, and somebody had said in the chat that possibly somebody in law enforcement, maybe Secret Service, that had been struck in the chest, but that the vest had stopped the projectile. So we'll wait to see if that's actually legitimately true. But yeah, I mean, they're doing this at the Washington Hilton, so obviously it's a public place. I mean, of course, probably early this morning, and I mean probably 3 to 4 o'clock this morning, that place went on lockdown. Secret Service was there last night, getting everything set up, going through, bringing the dogs in, doing everything they could. But yeah, I agree with you, and this is nothing political. This is not about, who wants to do what, but We were in the process of building a ballroom at the White House. This may be a point where we decide that to go ahead with that and complete that, because security at the White House is probably a lot harder to get through. Yeah, I know it's harder to get through than somebody that may have a ticket, maybe have a friend that invited them to the correspondence dinner, and that's how they get as close as they do. So we're probably going to see a lot of protocols, different and newer and better protocols after something like this, which we always do. I mean, we find out where we're weak and we try to do better. Doesn't matter who the person is. The Secret Service is there to do their job. Law enforcement is there to do their job. Had this been Biden, Obama, George Bush, it doesn't matter. They're going to go do their job the way they're supposed to do it. And they did. The president has already praised law enforcement for their response in this. And I agree. They've obviously done a great job if nobody ends up being harmed at all.
I was just at the White House several months, probably 4 months ago, 5 months ago, whenever that was, Steve. I was up there with meetings in the White House. I had 2 meetings up there. The security is so amped up that it takes almost an act of Congress to get inside that ground. So, at that Hilton, I've stayed there recently, and a lot of dignitaries out of country will stay there, or at the Intercontinental, which is the Willard Hotel. But that particular Hilton is set up for these types of events in terms of foreign dignitaries and foreign leaders. And if you haven't been up there and been a part of this, when anytime the president moves in the district, it is all hands on deck. Everything's shut down. All of the roads adjacent to his travel are shut down. And Steve, like I said, I'm very curious to find out, number one, how this guy got in the inner perimeter. Not pointing fingers at our law enforcement folks, but it's concerning that he was able to get to the door of the magnetometer. Now, a lot of these venues will have a magnetometer on the outer perimeter as well, but certainly not at the Hilton. They're set up for that. So a little curious as to see how. I will say this, Steve, I've experienced this multiple times. If you're staying in one of these hotels where perhaps this Hilton where this event was taking place tonight, and you're actually a legitimate guest there, they do access that hotel from an adjacent door away from where the president's going to be traveling. So could it have been someone staying in the hotel that just, they slipped by? We don't know. Concerning.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Concerning.
And yeah, I mean, and understandably, well, I don't want to get political. So, yeah, I think it seems like everybody did their job. We're gonna have to see just how, like you said, how he was able to get as close. I mean, what did he have with him? What kind of pew was it? And exactly where? I don't think. I mean, they said in the hallway adjacent to the ballroom that they're in. So we don't know exactly where that is or how close he was. So we'll have to wait and see. This is gonna hopefully come out as quickly as they can get it out. I think with nobody really being harmed, this will be a little quicker. We'll get a quicker release on some information than we might if they were doing a full-blown investigation for somebody actually being a victim. So,
yeah, I guess we have some hag bags in here making some stupid comments. You guys,
Well,
I'm at
and
a
that's-
point now. I'm gonna make it very clear. If you got something negative to say on any of this stuff, block me and keep scrolling. I don't give a shit who you voted for. I don't care who the hell you like as far as the president. And like Steve said, I don't care if it's Obama, Trump, Bush, or George Washington. He's the president of the United States. And if you've got some shitty, disrespectful remarks, get the hell out of here, because I'm going to find out who you are and I'll block you then. So just leave.
yeah, and the ballroom's not being built for Trump. It's being built for the White House. I mean, there's going to be Democrats and Republicans for years to come that are using the ballroom. So It's an opportunity to save that much more money than using an outside facility, and that much more security to protect the people who are our president. I tell most people all the time, honestly, whoever the president is doesn't matter to me at most times, as long as he keeps me safe and my money does well in the market, because all those little things are controlled by the state. I have more worry about what Florida does than what the president of the United States does. So
Like I
it doesn't
said,
matter who it is, and that's all I'll say.
just I don't care who the president is. It's the office
Yeah.
of the presidency, and
Yeah, we want them all to
here's
be
something
safe.
here's something more important. You have a correspondence dinner, a ballroom full of folk, and just thank goodness this was stopped at the door, and it wasn't anything greater.
Absolutely.
A lot of people look at that and say, okay, the president's safe, we can clap our hands. Well, someone was hit tonight. We don't know
Right.
the extent of that. But that someone, whomever that person is, has a family. And, just like a couple people have been talking about the John Curtis Lucas case. John Curtis didn't wake up that morning knowing that he was going to be unalived. Whoever was hit with this certainly didn't wake up thinking he would go home with more holes in him than he came with. And it's a tough job, Steve.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I mean, these guys go to work every day, and we did the same thing. Strapping a vest and a pew pew on, and you don't know who you're going to meet that day and what's going to happen. And so, your whole thought process is do your job. And these guys, their job is to get the president out of harm's way, which they did. And then from there, they go on and do the rest of their job. And if that means that they have to end up taking somebody out, they do that for the safety of everybody there, not just the president of the United States. He's
Guys,
obviously.
I just got a text that I was getting a little too spicy. If I was a little bit too spicy and if it offended you, sorry. But I'm not going to take back my spicy words, because I don't care who the leader is. It's our country, and I will beat on the drum. This is the greatest nation in the world, period. So if I offended you, sorry, but I'm not sorry. But anyway, I got a text from my lovely wife. She's like, you're getting a little spicy there. But let me tell you something. You got to be spicy when you love America. Got to be spicy.
Yeah, and I think we've said enough over the course of the lives that I've been on with you for people to understand that both of us are open-minded people. We're open for debate, and we don't choose one over the other. And we have our opinions, but everybody's free to come here and share their opinion. Just be nice about it. It's not something where we're the vitriol has no place, not here anywhere.
Yeah, like I said, just thank God the president's okay, and let's pray for whoever was shot or hit. I still am unclear about that.
Yeah, they're setting up the White House briefing room now, so.
But guys, I get a little spicy sometimes. So you know what? That's just who I am. I gotta get spicy when I want to get spicy. I gotta get spicy just like you guys.
Somebody in those chat said, keep it spicy.
I like getting spicy. I'm sorry. And you know what? It's about loving this country. This is about as political as we'll ever get tonight, because it happened to deal with the president. But you know what, man? This is the only country that I have, that I was born in, that I'm proud of, no matter what's going on. And Steve, maybe we need a lot of other people getting spicy about the love for our nation, because it's the greatest nation on God's green earth, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Regardless of who's in control, I'll always be patriotic.
But here's a hard part. Where I don't get spicy, Steve? I don't get spicy when I do live news on breaking news such as that. There are a lot of things that I always like to say on the news that I just won't, because here's why. there's John and Mary sitting at home, and they're dependent on whatever favorite news station they watch. And I've for 16 years, I pride myself on keeping it down the center when I do the news. Here's why: people get enough crazy stuff without Jamie Copenaber being another talking head, leading people astray to the left or right. So I don't get spicy on the news, and I keep it non-political and just speak the facts. So
Right down the middle.
You got to do that. And I wish there were more news contributors on legitimate news shows that would do that. Now, I mean, you're going to have the Sean Hannitys and those are opinionated shows, and you're going to have that. But when it comes down to raw news stories, you got to be straight down the middle. Got to be straight down the middle. Boy, Steve, we really shook things up tonight.
Yeah, I think next week's going to be great. I really do. I think getting people involved and letting them kind of lead things. Again, like I said, it just reinvigorates the program, reinvigorates the cases, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what everybody comes up with and what everybody brings to the table.
Yeah, guys, like I said earlier, I think Bubba covered it maybe before Steve got on here, but Steve, I love doing the news. I love being in the loop. You get those texts before the people get it, and you kind of know what's happening. But I like doing the news because I like being transparent, truthful, and just sharing a little bit of experience with people that may not know the inner workings. But what I think is unique, Steve, is coming on a TikTok live and actually people get to see behind the scenes, because that's something you don't see every day. You don't see the guy jump out of his chair and my best friend Steve takes over the show, and I go change in the bathroom and put a shirt and tie on and a jacket and come back in 3 minutes and we're on live news. So I think we have a unique opportunity, Steve, to help get people over the hump if they have questions, and maybe not educate them. They're educated people, but allow us to give our insights, and it may help get them through the hump on some of these cases. And I think that's very important, bringing, you're on every night almost, Steve and Rick. And I think that's the importance of having a solid core of people that are there, that people trust and have the integrity to carry out their mission like you guys do.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that, when you do the news and when they get to see this behind the scenes stuff, Fox doesn't call you for just any kind of thing. They call you for law enforcement expertise. They call you for your experience and what you see and what's going on. So, they didn't call and ask you your politics. So it's always important, I think, for the people here to see that when you do this stuff, it's always for your law enforcement information. And so there's no left or right in law enforcement experience. It's right down the middle. Everybody's treated equally and fairly. And so they call you because they want to know, they want their people to know what police are doing, what law enforcement is doing right now, and what their thought process is, because they can't call right now to Washington and go, hey, Director of the Secret Service, can you please tell me what your guys are thinking right now? So to have somebody like you that gets on there, I think it's important that they see that and they understand that it's always straight down the middle law enforcement information, which is what these lives are about, to let people know, see us, see our faults, see our experience, and to answer some questions that they may have about it, because not everybody gets to see that. Not everybody gets to get these questions answered.
You said it the best. But guys, I'm going to tell you, and we will, unless you guys have any questions and you want to come up, you know me, man, I'll stay here until 1 o'clock. If there are people in the box that want to come up, this is your channel, the People's Crime Network. Steve, come on up if you have questions. But in closing, Steve, the community makes this thing work. And if we didn't have that community that's vested in us and the community, you and I and Rich would be wearing wigs and talking to ourselves, and we wouldn't have anybody to talk to, just us. So
there'd be three viewers. There'd be 3 viewers, me, you, and Rich, talking to each other.
maybe our wives. I don't know. Probably not.
Right, right. She could moderate and mute me and Rich every chance she got if
She
we
was
got a
about
little
to.
spicy
She was
with you.
almost going to mute me for getting spicy. But no, guys. And like I said, it's not the Steve show or the Jamie show or the Coco show or the Rick show. It's the community show, and I'll live by that and die by that because that's how it is, Steve. Steve, crazy night, man. I keep seeing it. No agenda. We came in here, no script, no agenda, no cases. Of course, we gave credit to the cases that we were talking about. What's your two takeaways, man, for tonight? Because it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think next week's going to be great for everybody. Tune in. I would tell you to share with your friends and get people on here that are interested in the facts, because that's what it's about. You know, you guys bringing the facts, the information that comes to you. You know, somebody wanted to read my hat, any old Barstool.
Mama
Nashville
Connie,
thinks
thank
somebody-
you. Mama Connie, thank you, thank you, thank you. Did you see that sheep jumping over that? That is, I have never seen that one until tonight. Thank you, Mama Connie. But no, Steve, it's
Yeah, it's going
crazy.
to be, I think it's going to be good. I think, you know, everybody's been great. I mean, it really has been. You know, I don't think we've had that much that has frustrated us. It's just been incredible to see the outpouring of followers and the people that just tune in every night, and so it's much appreciated. You know, like Jamie said, we would be just a bunch of talking heads up here if it weren't for you guys, and so what you need out of this is more important than, you know, what we need out of this, and so thank you.
You know, I get more out of this than I think they do.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I meant. You know,
Yeah.
it's not about us, and it's not about, you know, it means more to have these people in here doing what they're doing than for me just to plug in.
Yeah.
You know, to get on and then do it. Even if I did my own live and just have people watch, it means more to me of the interaction than just getting on here and spouting off stuff. You know, it's easier to help people understand, and you're right. Yeah, I get more out of it than anybody else. Especially, you know, I think next week's going to be great. The cases we did before, I think we learned a lot about this community from that, and so I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, we just covered the correspondence dinner for whoever asked it. I can't find it. Matter of fact, we just did a live news cast on Fox about it. So yeah. All right, guys. In closing, Steve. In closing, guys, can you do one more thing? And it's not for me. It's not for Steve. It's for the victims of crimes. I like to see those yellow hearts, Steve. You guys can put yellow hearts, blue hearts, clovers. We've got some families that we know personally, Steve, right now in the community. John Curtis Lucas's family. You know, that family we know. They've been on here. They've talked on our show. We have so many victims of crimes that people are following. They may know. It may be a relative. I'm going to just stop talking for the next 60 seconds, guys. I know it's a lot of tapping. For the next 60 seconds, just show these families some love, the survivors, please. Keep tapping, guys. 15 more seconds. Keep tapping, keep tapping. Thank you guys for that. Steve, I think if we ever get away from why we do this, we need to cut the cord and never go back live. It's about the victims, the families.
Yeah, and you know, it's the community outpouring that we have here. You know, honestly, that's why we do it. Like I said, and like you said, it's not for us. You know, trust me, there's plenty of places. I've got plenty of friends where if they needed somebody to talk, I could go talk. I could go teach somewhere. But I don't, because, you know, I feel like I'm not worthy of it. And honestly, I don't think we're worthy of this group. I think that they are the important ones. And so the expertise or the advice that we can give to, who would have thought? I mean, the situation is tragic and extremely sad, but who would have thought this week we would have been talking to family members, to the attorney? So it's you in the community that have made these things possible, reaching out to folks and them seeing things like this that allows us. And, if for 1 second the attorney had come on or one of the family members had come on and said, we'd really like for you guys not to talk about this anymore. They haven't said that. They haven't said that. They want this. They enjoy this. It's part of their healing process to know that we're pushing for what we're pushing for here. And so, I agree. It wouldn't be worth it if we lost that focus.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next broadcast. I can't thank you guys enough for all the love. And let's bring our A game, Steve. We'll be back here tomorrow night, God willing. And I'll say it every show, Steve. Thank you. I can't do it without you. Of course, Rick and Steve. I mean, you guys are the show. You're the people too. So, good night, everyone. Good night, Steve.
See you, buddy.